Welcome, class. Today will be a very interesting one. One lucky student will be following me to the past. Where will we be going, you ask? Watch this video to find out. This is 1896 Athens, Greece, home of the first Olympic Committee and some of the most prized athletes. These pictures are extremely famous artifacts, so enjoy. Now that we have watched that, the student who will be joining me on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity has the highest average in the class so far. And that student is Sam Fisher. Mr. Fisher, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on to your seat.
We made it. Why does everything look so old?
Well, Sam, we are in the late 18th century. What you are looking at is one of the first ever modern athletic stadiums. So yes, it does look old, but at the same time, this was revolutionary. This is the Panathenaic Stadium, also known as the Kilomero. It can fit approximately 50,000 and it built entirely out of marble. The amazing part is that the stadium is still standing in our present day. The first Summer Olympic Games were not the first time the stadium was put to use, though. It was actually created in 330 BC, primarily for inter-Greece athletic events. It wasn't until now they opened the stadium up for surrounding countries. The Games were located in the city of Olympia, home of the Greek gods, and that's where the Olympics got its name. They were ultimately held in honor of Zeus, who was their king. These gods are highly supported here in Athens. As I said, today was the opening ceremonies for the first ever International Olympics run by the newly formed Olympic Committee, which was created by Pierre de Coubertin. The famous start to the ceremonies where all the athletes are lined up around the stadium, lighting the Olympic flame, has not been changed for almost 2,500 years. These games hosted 14 nations, with 241 athletes competing in 43 different events. The different sports that were offered was track and field, but they called it athletics, cycling, fencing, gymnastics, sailing, but it was canceled due to poor weather, shooting, swimming, tennis, weightlifting, and wrestling.
Wow, all these sports were active even in the 18th century?
The crazy part is all these events were taking place in the single stadium. Oh look, an event is taking place right now. Let's watch. Looks like that was Ellery Clark and his fellow Americans. I think he just won the gold medal. First place winners will now receive an olive wreath along with a silver medal. Second place gets a copper medal, and third gets nothing.
You're telling me there's no gold medal or third place medal?
Yes, weird, right? Moving on. Look, sitting down at the front row. That's Spiridon Louis. He just won a marathon. He won the race by 4 kilometers, being 7 minutes ahead of the second place. The marathon is the Greece's most significant race, and that's what most of the Greek gods competed in. This is when he became a national hero. Sitting right beside him, the American James Connolly, who came in first in the triple jump, which just made him the first Olympic champion. There's actually a life-size statue back in our era of that man. But nothing beats seeing Karl Schumann from Germany. Apparently, he came first in 4 events in 4 different sports: athletics, gymnastics, wrestling, and weightlifting. This record has yet to be broken in 2,500 years. Okay, so we are halfway into our trip. How has it been so far, Sam?
It has been an amazing experience so far. It's an honor to be at the same stadium as these famous figures and observe these historic events. I can't wait for what I will learn next.
Moving forward, I want you to realize what these athletes had to go through before competing. Training was much harder than it is today. These athletes had to put everything into the events, and they got paid next to nothing. They had to compete at pro levels and go to work the next day. There is no state-of-the-art facilities or up-to-date safety precautions. If one of these athletes were to get hurt, they would not return for a while. They know they are putting everything out on the line. I want you to understand how much heart and desire these athletes had. As this was the first international competition, many challenges as well as dangers arose for the incoming teams. Obviously, the language barriers caused problems as most workers speak Greek. Also, there was not a specific dress code. Some athletes were wearing clothes as some were wearing little to none. One of the major dangers was Greece's economy not ready for all the incoming people. Sicknesses arose that set back some athletes. As we reach the closing ceremonies and the end of our month trip to 1869 Athens, Greece, I hope you expanded your knowledge in regards to Greek history and entertainment. I also expect you to do very well on your final paper, which will be about these Olympics.
Thank you for this amazing opportunity. It has been surreal, and I won't let you down, sir. Look, the closing ceremonies are starting.